musician. My band and I doing little gigs, little talent shows and whatnot. And it was pretty wild. We had all the dreams in the world. In fact, I went out with those guys. The original band from when I was 16 years old, we all went out to Vegas, and it was a wonderful time. Maybe I'll do a show on it. I don't know. But I was going to do a show on it. Then I was going to do a show on OJ getting acquitted, but this came, and you know what? This hit me hard. So there was no way I was going to do a show on anything else. So to comfort himself from the various situations of abuse and things like that, Bennington drew pictures, wrote poetry, songs, did those types of things to try and escape. He was physically bullied in high school. I think that's something a lot of us can relate to. So he was knocked around like a rag doll, he said, for being skinny. Now, his first band was named Sean Dodell and His Friends, released a 3-track cassette in 1993. Keep in mind, he was 16 years old and they released it. So he was like, this was going to be his life. Sean Dowdell and Bennington moved on to form a new band called Grey Days, a post-grunge band. The band recorded 3 albums in 1993, 94, and 97. Bennington left Grey Days, but struggled to find another band in 1998. Bennington was frustrated and almost ready to quit his music career altogether when the vice president of A&R at Zorba Music in Los Angeles, or Zomba Music in Los Angeles, offered him an audition with these other guys who were the future members of Linkin Park. Bennington quit his day job at a digital services firm and took his family to California, where he had a successful audition with Linkin Park. Think of the balls. And think of hell, I had offers to do radio in places like South Dakota and Kentucky. And, this is terrestrial radio, man. This is going live on terrestrial radio. And I had these offers, and I was not willing to do that. I was not willing to say, all right, everybody, let's go and let's pack up the kids and the station wagon and let's go like Griswolds down to South Dakota. How about it? During the winter. That's why I was offered the job. So I didn't take it, obviously, and here I am. I made a different choice than Chester did. And it worked out for Chester. So he managed to record the song for his audition in a day, missing his own birthday celebration in the process. Well, if you're going to go all in, you go all in. Bennington and Mike Shinoda, the band's other vocalist, made significant progress together, but failed to find a record deal. And then Jeff Blue, remember Jeff Blue, who offered him an audition with Linkin Park? He then became the A&R at Warner Brothers. Believe it or not, from Zomba Music to Warner Brothers. That's a hell of a promotion, and he took Linkin Park with him. So they released their debut album, Hybrid Theory, on the 24th of October 2000. And it was one of the most successful albums of the decade. He was the lead vocalist of Linkin Park, but Mike Shinoda was also another vocalist. AllMusic Guide described Bennington's vocals as higher-pitched, emotional, in contrast to Shinoda's hip-hop style delivery, and that's what kind of worked. That really worked. Now, Bennington was also a member of a band called Dead by Sunrise, and that was kind of a side project that he did. They performed on September 12th, 2001 at the Live in Berlin concert. That's an interesting date there, the day after the infamous 9/11. Bennington also performed Morning After with his cover band entitled Bucket of Weenies in many shows throughout 2005 and 2006. This was the first time that Bennington had officially performed the song under the new name Dead by Sunrise. In addition, this band had recently started touring with Linkin Park in Europe. Videos have been filmed for Crawl Back In and Let Down, with the song serving as the album's first 2 singles. Crawl Back In has reached 11th spot on the mainstream rock chart. After the release of Out of Ashes on October 13th, 2009, the band hit a hiatus. Excuse me. 4 years later is when Chester Bennington was recruited by Stone Temple Pilots to be their lead vocalist. Now imagine that again. I cannot say it enough. Your boyhood favorite band, Stone Temple Pilots, decides to release their lead singer. And what happens? They call you to be their lead singer. What an amazing moment. Amazing moment. Just really an amazing moment. I'm reading this information from Wikipedia, by the way. Trying not to plagiarize, of course. So, he was married twice, had a total of 6 children. And I can't imagine. I cannot imagine 6 children. How do you do that? How do you leave along exactly what he was feeling by his lyrics, which were very emotional, very heavy, very, very have the idea that this might have been an issue with his I apologize, technical difficulties here, live radio of course. This may have been an issue with his latest album, because his latest album was universally panned by fans. And we're going to hear a track from that album. And it is quite different than the Linkin Park that I grew up with. But I got to say, I've always liked it. Even when it first came out, I liked it. It was different, and I thought, yeah, this is different. This is not what I expect when I hear Linkin Park. But, you know, that's exactly what what it was. And when I come back, I'm going to talk about the fans' backlash to this and how that may have played a role, not the whole role, because I believe someone who commits suicide, that is their responsibility, but how something like a change in style and a backlash from fans can really mess with your head. This is Alan Wayne. This is episode 30 of the Random Bytes Podcast. Chester Bennington, In the End. Here's Heavy, featuring Kalara off their latest release.
I don't like my mind right now. Stacking up problems that are so unnecessary. Wish that I could slow things down. I wanna let go, but there's comfort in the panic. And I drive myself crazy, thinking everything's about me. Yeah, I drive myself crazy, 'cause I can't escape the gravity. I'm holding on. Why is everything so heavy? Holding on to so much more than I can carry. I keep dragging around what's bringing me down. If I just let go, I'd be set free. Holding on.
Why is everything so heavy? You say that I'm paranoid, but I'm pretty sure the water's out to get me. It's not like I made the choice to let my mind stay so fucking messy. I know I'm not the center of the universe, but you keep spinning around me just the same. I know I'm not the center of the universe, but you keep spinning around me just the same. I'm holding on. Why is everything so heavy? Holding on to so much more than I can carry. I keep dragging around what's bringing me down. If I just let go, I'd be
is everything so heavy? Holding on. So much more than I can carry. I keep dragging around what's bringing me down. If I just let go, I'd be set free. Holding on. Why is everything so heavy? Why is everything so heavy? Why is everything so heavy?
That is Heavy by Linkin Park from their last album entitled One More Light. This is episode 30 of the Random Bytes Podcast, a special edition, Chester Bennington in the End. So, I played that song because not only is it topical with the death of Chester Bennington, but as I did more research, I found that there was quite a bit of backlash to this album. There were fans who went after Chester on Twitter, and Chester went after him back. Basically saying, move on from fucking hybrid theory. Now, as an artist myself, and as somebody who's been on the air, who puts himself out there nearly every night, except for the last 4, but hey, no judgment now. For somebody who puts himself out on the air and really tries to... I try not to pay attention to the numbers, and I try not to pay attention to the negative comments. But when the numbers are down and the negative comments are plenty, I'm kind of the feeling you have to pay attention. You have to listen to the people who have taken the time to listen to you and give their feedback. Now, I've listened to this whole album, One More Light, and it is different. It's very much more synthesized. It's a lot more poppy. Yes, it's different than a lot of things that Linkin Park have done. Well, so what? They decided to evolve. They decided to do something different. I remember when Metallica came out with Load. Friends of mine, we all came together and we all decided we were going to ditch school and we were going to pop Load in the CD player. I was 14 years old. I knew a 16-year-old guy who just got his license, and we decided just let's go. So we popped it into the CD player and drove to Venice. And we were listening to Load on the way, and the look on our faces as we heard it was kind of like, oh, this is cool, but what is this? This is not Metallica. What is this? This is different. And a couple of the guys in the car were actually very disappointed by Load, but me and a couple other guys, we really liked it. And we went on to purchase Reload and, unfortunately, Saint Anger. Saint Anger was not my favorite Metallica album. And then they came out with Symphony and Metallica, and then they came out with Lulu. And Metallica has been all over the place. But you know what? They have the ultimate fuck you attitude. They are going to continue to evolve and move on. And they're going to continue to push forward. Metallica took a lot of crap for their albums after Black. Even Black was considered to be a sellout album for a lot of people. And there was talk that Linkin Park had possibly sold out and that perhaps Chester didn't have the chops anymore. That's why he had to do this. That's why they had to do this way, with so many different guest singers, with so many lighter tracks, without the real screaming on every track that Chester was known for. There were plenty of very, very hard barbs thrown at Linkin Park and specifically Chester for this album. And to those fans, I just want to say one thing. Are you happy? Are you guys happy now? All that bitching, all that complaining, all that anger and angst